Oh, hey, I'm still alive. Wow, 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 wow. Just barely, though. Yeah, I still have COVID. I mean, it doesn't go away, very quickly. So it's gonna unfortunately be like this for a little bit. But I sound like shit. I feel like shit. Everything's shit. Hey, Hades, 31 months. That's crazy. Okay, guys, I did something cool though, which is exciting. So let's switch to our camera view. Okay, you might not be able to tell the difference, but look at how nice my camera setup is now. Um, it may not seem very different to you, but it's different to me. So, you can kind of see there's a lot better focus from like here down. It's a lot brighter and nicer, but you don't see the lights in the reflection. I'm just using my phone as a camera. Mind blowing. Who would have thunk? Yeah, it's working really well. I feel stupid for not trying this sooner. But yeah, I don't know. It's just life for you. You do dumb shit, and then you realize it's stupid. You realize you can't do anything about it, and you keep going. So what you will notice is I see I'm a lot paler. You can kind of see all my veins, which is great. There's a lot of light right here, so if it gets too reflective-y, just let me know and I'll turn off one of the lights. Um, but yeah, we're gonna make some clay stuff. Um, like I said, I still have COVID. I still feel really sick. I still feel super awful. Yeah. So give me a break if I don't sound great. I really feel like I don't sound the way I normally do, so that's kind of rough. Okay. Ugh. So we're gonna start by getting some clay. Ugh. Here's our clay. This is reclaimed clay, so it's like kind of a weird color and may have like a mix of some other clays in it, and it's fine. It's like cheaper, and it's softer, so it's a little easier to work with sometimes. So we're gonna be using this because it's what I brought home. Okay, so we're just gonna pop this sucker open. We're gonna use my wire tool. Let me make sure that yeah, it's okay. It's coming off the right mic. I just wanted to make sure. You guys aren't hearing me twice, right? I think I just want to make sure that my phone's not picking up my voice. Um, and it's only um, my mic, whatever. Anyways, I use this wire tool to cut it. Um, we're just gonna take a big old chonker because I don't know how much we're gonna use. That's actually not that much. I cut it pretty shallow. Let's give it a little bit more. I don't know. We'll start with that. We could always grab more if we need to. Always make sure to close up your bags of clay, otherwise they'll dry out. I'm just gonna put it over here on my work desk where I do my job. Um, okay, let's get to it. So the clay is pretty soft to begin with, but I still want to mix it up a little bit to warm it up because it's a little cold. Um, so it's a little hard to work with. I also am not used to using it on glass. I'm just using this because it's what I have. As you can see, it's kind of sticking to it a little bit. Maybe I should try, let me scoot this a little bit. Does it work on this? No, it still sticks quite a bit. Okay, let's make believe that didn't happen. Put that there. Put this back here. Reframe. Okay. It's fine if it sticks a little bit. It's not the end of the world. Um, like I said, we're just warming it up. Oh, I'm gonna put the music back on too. First you're gonna get clay all over my mouse. It's probably fine. Um, okay. That feels a lot better. Just like this consistency a little bit better. Let's quick cleanup. Looking good. Also, this is gonna slide all over the place. I don't care. Deal with it. If I'm like completely out of view, then say something. But like other than that, I don't think I give enough shits to care. Okay, we're gonna take some of that off. We're gonna feel this a little bit. See if this feels like the right size. If I want to make this smaller or larger. I think that might be a good size. We're gonna make a little tube. Squish them down a little bit. Okay. This is where I like examine and decide the shape. Normally I make like this like sort of like bean potato shape to decide how much clay I'm gonna need. Because if you think of it like the little guys I've been making, this is the head, this is the butt, and then this is where the legs will come out and bend over. So it seems a little bit small, probably need a little bit more. Gotta give them a little bit more girth, like this way. This part's probably the most boring because it just doesn't look like anything right now. And it's hard to like picture it as a thing. So I don't know what to tell you. It's also hard because this clay is like very soft. I'm used to using it when it's a little colder. So when I warm it up, it's like not quite this soft, but soft. Okay. So next I'm gonna sort of pinch it around the middle-ish area. To kind of give it a waist is the best way I can explain it. And then I'm gonna start giving a little bit more shape to the upper part, the head. Just rolling it sort of in the palm of my hand. Also, I know I'm treating this kind of like an instructional video, but like, I don't know. I just don't really have anything to talk about, but I really kind of just wanted to like do something. And then I was like, oh, I'll see if I can set my phone up as a camera. And then I did, and then I was like, oh, I guess I could make something. And then I was like, I guess I'll stream. So here I am. But like, I am really, really tired. I don't know, like everyone else, what kind of COVID symptoms you all had, because I know it can vary drastically from person to person. So it's like hard to say like if one person's symptoms are like worse than another's because they may just experience two completely different things. And so like I've got really bad cough at night. Like it's just a really bad cough at night. So at night I like can't sleep. I cough until I throw up. I like feel like I can't breathe. It's very hard. And so I end up napping a lot during the day. Because on top of it, I've got this intense fatigue even when I do sleep. We're essentially making a potato right now, by the way. I'm just smoothing out the edges so I can get a good idea of what I want to do with it. But yeah, I basically like become the most tired human ever. I can't stand for very long. If I stand upright, I get really, really dizzy. And then I sort of just kind of start to pass out. It's like this intense lightheadedness. Really feeling great, you know? And I don't know, I think the fatigue's the hard part. I just feel so tired all the time. I'm like unable to do anything because it just, like I said, standing even for the shortest periods of time like make me like feel like I'm gonna pass out. I start to get so lightheaded and I start to like lose track of like where the ground is. You ever have like, hey Tem, you ever have like those dreams where you wake up that you feel like you're falling? Imagine being awake and having that happen when you stand up. It's kind of like that. It's like I suddenly feel like I'm falling, but I can't tell where is the floor and where's the ceiling. I just become so tired and so lightheaded. Um, okay, so we've got like a semi-potato shape. Now we just have to decide if this is the right shape we want. What should I go for? Let's see. What do I want to make? I made a list of like themes that I wanted to do. Let me look at what I put on my list. Also, I'm sweating balls, man. I'm gonna make a little fox, a little guy with like plants coming out of him, pastel themed. It's perfect, don't change anything. I have a potato. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I'll just start adding to it and see what I feel. The head's slightly not round, so I'm gonna add a little bit more clay here to give it a little bit more roundness. But yeah, I feel like garbage basically. COVID's no fucking joke. I knew it wasn't. I get mad at people who are like, haha, not a big deal. Cause like, I don't know, it's not funny. It's not nice being sick, and for somebody who has like medical problems, like it's even harder. Like my normal autoimmune stuff is like acting up like crazy. And I feel like I'm just dying. I feel like I'm dying. I had to call my doctor because the coughing was so bad that I couldn't breathe. And they had to prescribe me medicine for it. So like, I don't know. I just would like to be able to breathe. That'd be cool, you know? Yeah. Plus I sound like shit. I feel like my voice sounds completely different, but maybe it's just how it sounds in my head. And my ears hurt. Like, I don't know if that's an everyone COVID symptom, but like my ears fucking hurt, okay? Like, it sucks. Okay. So we've got our base potato. The reason I'm moving all these crumbs over here is because they dry really quickly, and then you get these dry crumbs in your clay, and they create problems. So I try to keep my work surface like semi-clean. Yeah, right? I'm asking for a lot. I want to breathe. Who the fuck do I think I am? Also, I'm sorry if chat looks like shit here. Every once in a while, I'll like words. I don't know. I guess I could change the font color. Let me see if I can do that. Is this better? Yeah, that's probably fine. Oh, that's weird. Appears gray. Oh, yeah. Anxiety is rough. I'm glad to be able to help by babbling. Also, look at how gross my hands are now. This is why I don't bother trying to look good. Okay. So the next thing that I like to do is decide the position that he's gonna sit in. Here, let me grab this. Okay, so this is the one we were working on the other day. You could see he's dried, so he's completely changed color. This is like a, what's this stage called? Bone dry. So I can't really do much else to him now. You can actually see like the full inside and everything. But you could see for him, he has a little arch in his back where he sits, and then he's got his butt that sticks out, and then he's got a little belly. I like giving all my little dudes bellies because it reminds me of myself. So what I normally do is once I get that bean sort of potato shape, I sit him down to decide where his butt's gonna go, how he's gonna sit, how far he's gonna be leaning over and stuff like that. Let me put this guy back over here. Okay, so now I have this guy, and I want to figure out how far he's gonna be sitting and leaning over. So if I look at him right now, let me just click over here and move some stuff around. Okay. If I look at him right now, his head doesn't stick out too far. He doesn't have too much of a belly, so I think we'll probably want to define this a little bit more right around here. And then decide, like, I kind of want to make a fox-like one. I haven't made any that have, like, an extended snout or face. Most of the ones, well, all of the ones I've made so far have flat faces. So I'd like to try something new. It'd also be cool to make a tail. So let's do that. Also, I'm gonna make all kinds of snot noises. Like, I don't know, fucking deal. Okay. So... yeah, fucking... the whole losing weight thing's a scam, I feel like. I feel like it's a trick. There's no good way to go about it where you don't feel like shit. And like a lot of the time, I don't know. I'm talking just from my personal experience. Let me just figure this out real quick. I want to get this shape right before I go off into a tangent. Okay. We have our shape. He's leaning over a lot less than the ones that I made last time. Their arch is much lower normally, but I want to leave enough space that I can add a tail. So I want to give him a little bit less of that back arch in the lower portion. I want to kind of have him leaning more over in his sort of shoulder neck area. But I'm still going to thin this out a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about weight loss. I think it's a scam. I feel like there's a lot of bullshit involved in it. We're told all of these things about how to lose weight, and they're not always true and they don't always work. Each person's so drastically different that it's like unfair to have like this generalized diet idea that like doesn't work. What's considered a good diet for one person is not necessarily a good diet for another person. I think the problem is in this world we don't have a lot of people who their job is to look at us as a whole and figure out what's best for us as an individual. They want to find the simplified route of looking at humans as a species and say generally what is the idea of making these people skinny for the majority of them. It might be because you're in North America now. But what works for the most people? And the thing is the most people could be, you know, there's 10 people, all of them except 2 of them lose weight in different ways, completely different. But those 2 lose weight the same way. So now they're the majority, and that's what they focus on, regardless of the fact that there's 8 other people who lose weight completely differently. It's you know, it's stupid. I just realized my computer started playing the wrong playlist. I want to make sure I don't get DMCA crackdowned. Yes, sure, play this. This is good. Good job. 10 out of 10 would 10 again. Okay. Yeah, it ruins food for you. It ruins food. It makes you think that you should be punishing yourself. That the only reason you're gaining weight is because you can't control yourself. Because I think that's something that's very strongly pushed on people, is the idea of self-control, and that if you weigh anything outside of the normal, then you don't have self-control and you're lazy and you eat too much and all this bullshit. And that stuff is not fucking true. It's not fucking true. It's mean. It's fucking short-sighted and doesn't actually take facts into consideration at all. Sorry, I'm getting more clay. It's just mean words basically. At that point, it's just mean words. They don't have any actual value or meaning behind them anymore. Like, it's not a science thing anymore. It's just almost a hate thing. And like that's not helping anyone. That's not helpful at all. We want things that make us happy and to try hard, you know? Like, people don't want to try hard if they get upset or if they feel sad or if they have to do something that like makes their life suck. Not eating delicious food sucks. It makes your life suck. Why would I want that? Why would I want to live that life? I fucking wouldn't. Okay, we're gonna start working on the Legorooskies. Because I want to get the Legos kind of ideaed out before I start on the face. A lot of the time when I do the legs, I like tilt them like this. And do the butt too, so I want to make sure that I don't put a face on before I do that, especially if I'm going to extend the snout. Yeah, it's hard. I think it's hard because, like, on top of it, everyone loses weight differently. I haven't lost weight in, like, a couple months, but the thing is like, when I look in the mirror, I can see that, the skin around my stomach is becoming wrinklier, which definitely makes me think that I'm losing weight, but my weight is staying the same. So it's like hard because in my head I'm like, I'm fat, I'm not losing weight, and nothing's happening. But realistically, like, if I look at like the measurements, I can see a difference. But like, even then, there's not always like a very distinct difference. Like, when I was just focusing on gaining muscle, like, I wasn't losing weight, I was gaining weight, and it didn't look like I was gaining muscle, and I thought that I was just a fat and disgusting sad human. And it's just because it's like maybe not necessarily in the most obvious way that I'm gaining muscle or I'm gaining you know, hitting them gains. This is very hard with this sticking to the glass. Try to do this a different way. Let's do it lazy way. But yeah, I don't know. I hate the idea of weight loss because I feel like it's so drastically different from person to person. But there's this box that we're basically told to fit into, and it's a non-existent box that we're making for ourselves, and everyone's making it differently, but everyone's expecting everyone else to fit into it, and we all have this ideal of what we should look like in this box, and like, it just, I don't know, I feel like we're just hurting ourselves. We're doing nothing but hurting ourselves. Why can't we just be happy with how we are? Says the person who hates herself. No, but I feel like you guys gotta understand what I mean, right? It's like, it's hard because you want to be better, you want to fit what you think is beautiful. But like, why can't we change our idea of beautiful? I don't know. It's not simple, it's not easy at all. And like, some people don't want to put in the effort for it either. Do I like this? Are these too thin? Do I need to repurpose this into arms because they're too thin for legs? I don't know. Let's just keep moving forward as if they were legs, but... Ooh, I loved giving dating advice. Come on, hit me. What you got? I know these are slightly different lengths. Don't worry about it. Okay, this is how I make legs. It's just the beginning. I know it looks like a fucking horrifying like spider leg or something, but it'll change. We're gonna basically squeeze them down to make them thicker. Better be typing me a story, Tim. Wait, and I need this hit of amazing date information. mm, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of suspicious. Like, honestly, I'd drop that. Um, no offense. Even if he was a nice guy, it's got some horrifying red flags to it. Over clinginess, the way that it sounds, it just seems kind of weird. Um, I don't know. Whenever somebody talks about loyalty and then it's like you need to delete dating apps and stuff, it's like, I don't know. That's something that people do when they're looking to do human trafficking, like vibes. Like that's honestly like creeper vibes. Um, so I would be out of there. I would get out of there. It's not worth it. Okay, so we've added our Legos, our Lego Rooskies. We're gonna attach them now. They're a little bit difficult because, like I said, the clay is really soft. So we don't want to like put too much pressure on it. We're just gonna flip it over and stick these little suckers on here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like it gives off very human trafficking vibes is like the problem. And like very like creeper, controlling, like you have no choice in the matter kind of vibes. So yeah, I would toss that. Sorry. It's not worth the pain. It's not worth the danger involved. Okay. We're gonna flip this. His leg fell off. um it's a little bit, the clay is still very soft, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull a fan over and just kind of like stick a fan on it. Um Yeah, I don't know. Even with him, the thing is like people say, "Oh, I deleted all the apps and stuff." Like, "Oh, we're meant to be." That's him looking for you to respond with, I'll delete it too. I also feel like we're meant to be." Like, it's no, and I don't know. That's honestly that's the type of relationship where somebody's like, "Hey, I can't live without you. I'm gonna commit suicide if you try to break up with me." Like, no, no thanks, no thanks. I don't. You don't need that. You don't need that in your life. Um, yeah, no problem. Do I like these legs? Maybe they need more chunk to them. Yeah, let's take them off. The joys of clay. We just remove it. um, I think the problem is it's so soft that it's just picking up everything. I brought a fan over to try and help, but I wish I had a heat gun. Yeah, it would be nice if you guys could come visit. I honestly would very much enjoy having the company. Um, I mean, not right now with me having COVID, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, let's see. We can make our legs a little chunkier. Let's see how we like that. Let's move that back so I stop bopping him. that too chunky to be a leg, though? Let's make it a little smaller. Check this out. Does that look too big? I mean, I guess it's up to you if you want to write a rejection message or you want to block him. I guess it depends. The thing is no matter what message you write him, he's gonna react to like probably one of two ways. Either he's gonna be like, well, you're a dumb, ugly bitch. Or he's gonna be like, how could you? We have something special. Please come back to me. I love you. And it's just gonna be weird. So I don't know. It might be if you don't think you'd ever see him again just normally without a dating app, then I would just block him. If you feel like you might run into him because he lives in the local area and you guys go to similar places or have similar personalities, I would tell him you're not interested. You know, you appreciate his time, but you didn't have the same feelings at the end of the date. And then let him go off however he wants to go off. Okay, I think I like that better. I don't need a foot. I don't need a foot that big. Just gonna make his foot a little smaller, basically. Okay, so we got one leg done. And I know it's very messy. That's expected. We want to keep it pretty messy until we get to the cleanup stage. Before that, we have no reason to waste our time cleaning up. Because, you know, it's gonna end up like messy. It's just how it is. The clay is soft, so when you're constantly touching it and moving it around, you're gonna end up making divots in it. You can see right here there's a flat spot on the head from me flipping it over. Like, that's all gonna get fixed in the cleanup stages. So, like, we don't actually care about that right now. I think that's probably one of the hardest things, is just letting it look like a little bit like shit sometimes. Like, it's not always gonna be exactly what you're expecting it to look like. I'm just working on sort of matching it up to the other one. Doesn't have to be perfect. I don't know. I kind of like my pieces to be kind of fucked up, not exactly matched, to be kind of off from each other. But that's just because I like the nature of the messiness of it. The sort of hand built, the like, you know, I made this at home. I used my two hands to make this. Versus the very clean, like aesthetically pleasing, like this was made in a factory with the 800 other ones that look just like it. So I like to have more of a human touch behind it. Okay, right now we're just adding that leg, attaching it, making sure it's sitting good. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, at this point, we're just kind of sticking the sucker Yeah, no face reveal, not today. Not ever, probably. Honestly. Okay. So we got our man sitting back a little bit. I don't want to tilt it a little bit more forward. I'll leave space again for that tail to come out. I want it to come out right around here. When will you visit? I mean, when I'm not sick. And you gotta get Matt to come too. You gotta make it a party. Okay, I'm just evening things out now. Oh, yeah, I guess face reveal when you visit. Maybe I'll wear a mask. You guys can have a hair reveal. I just dyed it today. It's this like orangey pink. It was very hard to dye it. I had to sit down while putting the dye in because I could not stand. Yeah, it was not great. It was not fun. Thanks. Okay, I'm just adjusting the position of the legs still because I still don't quite like them. Getting a side view sometimes helps. Is it that you don't like the legs, or is it you don't like the position of the seating? Do you not like how crotch-like their crotch looks? Like, what's the problem? Is it that you've destroyed the belly because you've been putting the legs on? Is it that the legs aren't smooth, and you're finding that you don't like that? Like, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Is like, what is it about them that I don't like? I really think it's just me. I just don't like me. But that's okay. Okay. Legs are there. They're a little weebly wobbly just because again, it's very wet clay. I'm putting the fan back on it to see if we can get some shape to it. Yeah, more dating advice. Yeah. What questions you got? What do you want to know? I may not be the best at dating advice, but I am more than happy to give my honest opinions. I will never lie. I was about to say these are some like Cowboy Bebop ass jams, and then I looked over and it says Cowboy Bebop, and I was like, oh, never mind. I mean, there's no helping that, honestly, to be truthful. It's kind of like a hard situation. I think the thing is with dating, like, there's this idea that we all want to find somebody who's going to be our best friend as our partner. And so when you look at your existing friends, you're like, oh yeah, that's it. Like, I'll just take that. I already got that. Why not use that? You know, we get along well, we like each other, and they're hot. And a lot of the time, like, your personalities mesh really well. So, like, the thought is that, okay, well, you you just go on a couple dates, you just fuck a little bit, and you're on it. You're in it to win it. But unfortunately, like, it's like a hit or miss. Well, I mean, that even sounds more like you shouldn't be friends with them. Like, somebody who's pushy like that, That just seems like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't keep that in my life, but it's up to you. I mean, if somebody's pushy about sex or like intimacy and you're not interested and they're not taking no for an answer, then you need to like cut it off, in my opinion. It also depends on like how they're pushy about it, if they're like constantly joking about it or if they're like, let's do it, you know? Like there's a little bit of a difference. And it's also like if you're also joking back to them with it and like making it like a meme thing. Because like I have lots of like friends that I flirt with, but like we all like understand that it's not flirting in that way. It's more of just like us teasing each other and helping each other have more confidence by being like, "Oh, you look so hot today. Ooh, look at you. Look at how big them titties look, girl." You know? Yeah, I mean, it sounds like I honestly would probably just. It sounds like the relationship, the friendship is over, and it's probably better to keep it that way. Um, if it's you not contacting him, then it probably subconsciously you don't really want to be around him anymore after that uncomfortable situation. If it's him not contacting you, then it's possible he was just in it for that, and now that he's got what he wants, he's done. It's really hard to say without knowing them as a person, but I will say, as you get older, you realize it needs to be easier to cut people out of your life. It sucks because like you shouldn't want to. Like you want to have those bonds and those relationships in your life, but sometimes it's just better, you know? You have to make that decision yourself though. Like I can tell you what you should do, but you have to feel it. You have to feel that you're making the right decision. Um, so that's my 2 cents. Right now we're just gauging what the arm length should be. It's not going to actually be this long. We're going to cut them here, but I want to see where we would stand. Because we also have to take into consideration the hands. Are we going to add hands, or are we just going to leave little nubbins? I normally just leave little nubbins and I round them off. Just cleaning up those hands so that when I do move them into hands, they look good and don't like have weird shapes to them. Because once you move the hands over, they can sometimes be a little bit hard to add additional like detail to. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what Twitch's rules are as far as like in detail. I feel like you probably can't get too in depth. I want to move these arms down a little bit. I want to cut a little bit off of this one. Okay, you guys can kind of see what we're working with. We're getting some good shapes now. We'll probably get like this built out on a basic level. because I don't want to build out too much tonight, just because I'm already very weak feeling and very tired. I spotted one spot that's misshapen here, so I'm gonna fix it real quick. We're gonna turn him sideways a little bit to get better reach. We're just fixing a part of his leg that was flattened out a little bit too much. Making sure he has thighs that can crush a woman's skull, as you should. Crush me in them thighs any day, baby. Ooh! Okay. Thigh be looking good. Get a nice top view. They don't have to be even. I don't know. So far, like I said, I like everything to be very handmade looking. So the fact that it's not even is perfect. Tim, I am excited the moment that I think of buying something. Okay, no worries, you go. Get some rest, man. Make sure you make a decision on what you want to do with your friend and your prior date. But feel free to, you're always free to message me. I sometimes forget to respond, so if I don't respond in like a day or something, just message me again. Especially since I've been sick and like dead. But you have a good night. You take care of yourself. Okay, kiddos. Whew. Okay. My fever's coming back and I can feel the sweats. Ooh, girl, I'm cooking. Okay, so it's starting to harden up a little bit, so I can smooth it up a lot more now. I have a lot more control without it being overly squishy. So you can see now I'm running across it and it's not like just collapsing upon itself. So that's nice. That makes it a lot easier to work with. Just gonna squeeze this here. I like this song. This is nice. Also, if the music is too quiet or too loud, you guys can let me know and I'll make adjustments as needed. I have to take my hearing aids out whenever I stream, so sometimes it can be hard for me to tell how loud or how quiet my voice is versus the music. So just tell me if it doesn't sound right, and I'll do what I can. I want to get rid of this little piece. Okay. Okay, let's work on this snoot face. It's gonna be the first snoot face I've made. So it's going to be a trial and error thing. I know you guys are looking from the top, so it's going to be a little bit different than me looking from the front. But we'll work together on this, and we'll try to make it as snoot-like as we can. I guess like to start, I want to just make this clay a little wetter. It was in the fans directional, so it's a little bit drier too. I could grab new clay, but I want to use this clay. Oh my god, the song just fucking scared the shit out of me, whispering into my ear. It got me so bad. Oh my god. That really surprised me. Like, really caught me off guard. But yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh my god. I had to stop to look at the song's name so I would be prepared next time that happened, because like, fuck me, bro, like that scared the shit out of me. Okay, mixed this a little bit too long, it's dried up again. Clay is really nice because you could just add water and make it a little softer and easier to work with and dirtier. Right now all I'm doing is just squishing it in my hands to make sure the moisture is evenly distributed through it so it's easy to work with. You could tell by its smoothness of like how wet it is. When it's dry, it like, I don't know how to explain it. When you move your finger across it, it normally makes it like shiny versus like this that makes it like scratchy that you can see your fingerprint in it. It's hard to show you without zooming in more, so I'm not gonna fuck with the camera. It's in a good position, and you guys can figure it out. You're adults. I would hope so. Okay, so we're gonna start with a ball. Just standard ball rolling technique. And then we're gonna roll it into a cone. Okay, we've got our cone, and now we're gonna decide how we feel about this cone. Is this what I want my snout to look like? Do I want a long snout? Do I want a short snout? Do I want a rounded snout? Do I want a pointed snout? This is basically my test piece to kind of see what I think and how I feel about it. I think if I give it enough definition to define it as a snoot, I can make it as round as I want. Because this is what I'm looking at, is essentially defining it by giving it that nice frontal, what do you call that? Like eyebrow area? And then you're giving it nice, like... I'm making sense. Right now it looks like a crow skull. But I promise, when I stick it to this little sucker, it's gonna look like a crow skull. No, I don't know. It's gonna look like something. We'll figure it out. Let's just do some stuff. Let's just stick it on. I'm gonna roll a circle again, and I'm gonna make another cone. We're not gonna make this one very long though. We're just gonna give it a little bit of a cone shape. We're going to do a chop chop. We're going to do another chop chop. Get off of there. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Just making a little noodle. Actually, you know what? Let's take a little short break because I really have to pee. And you guys probably would enjoy a break too. So I'll be right back.
行くぞ。
Okay, I'm back. Let's switch it on. Let's get back into it. Okay. I was thinking about it. We should probably do the butt first. If I add the face too soon, I'll squish it when I'm working on the butt. So let's focus on our behind, our badonk donk. This is normally the position that I put it in to prep for the butt. I'm actually gonna grab a little bit of fresh clay for this, so I make sure it's some soft, easy to work with little guy. Okay. We're gonna start with a circle, a ball. A specific tool I like using. I'm just looking for it real quick. Hello, tool? Where are you hiding? There he is. It's my tiny kidney. Okay. I'm just gonna scoot him back a little bit. I'm gonna real quick clean this up. Don't need this much, so we're gonna cut this in half. Gonna roll it again. I've noticed a spot that I want to fix real quick, so I'm just gonna repair that. Okay. Okay, here's the trick to butts, okay? You make a circle. You cut it in half. And you put it together, and that's your ass. This one a little bit too big. It's an even split. Okay, now the question is figuring out where to put the butt. Like, how do we position this the right way? And that's the harder part. So he's gonna be like sitting on his butt, okay? So you're gonna want to like think of it like that. That he's sitting on his butt. Where would the butt be if he was squatted over? And like how would it position? And it's hard because like it doesn't, you're not always right away, so sometimes you have to go and you have to round his back out a little bit more and give him a little bit more shape to be able to put the butt in the right spot. So that's what we are doing now. I'm thinking we're gonna stick it somewhere around here. So we're gonna first check our sitting position. Does he still look like he's sitting proper? We're gonna push it down a little bit. We're gonna, again, sit it back into our flipped position. Just messing with the arms while I'm here, because why not? Also gonna mess with the feet a little bit. Okay, now let's mess with this butt. So if you remember the other one I've got, the butt is just almost like a butt thought, you know? Like we're gonna flatten it out a lot. We're gonna make sure it looks right. We're gonna make sure it's smooth and part of that back end, and that it makes sense with what we've got. So like right now it looks massive, but that's expected. We're gonna be folding it in. We're gonna be making it part of him. So it's okay that it looks huge and insano mode right now. Because we're gonna round it out. We're gonna roll it into the back. We're gonna roll it into the bottom. See there, we're getting a little bit more of that butt shape. And now we can start shaping it out. And what we want to try to do is avoid fucking up this crack. Yeah, sorry. Avoid fucking up this crack, because the crack's the best part. You know, that's what really defines it as a butt. So we want to get the bottom kind of smoothed, And we want to make sure it still has that rounded shape. We don't want to lose that crack. Once we lose that crack, it's no longer a butt. Okay, so I'm just going to sit him for a second. Adjusting my seating position. Cleaned my silicone. We're going to flip him again. And it's hard because we don't want to fuck up the rest of him. So it's important that we do this while he's still sort of soft. Because if he's too hard, we'll break a leg off. We'll break an arm. We'll break something off. And we don't want that. So I'm just using the silicone to kind of help flatten it out in the edges. Again, it's not perfect, but that's okay. We're just trying to make sure that the butt retains its shape. It feels stupid because it feels like it shouldn't take this much to like put a butt on a little dude, you know? Like it should be just, you stick it on there and you're good. But like, it's a little bit more complex than that. You want to make sure it's got shape and that it like fits with the body structure. Because just sticking a butt on there, just adding a bubble butt, like, it might not feel right for the body shape, you know? It's the idea of like people who get like Brazilian butt lifts and then it's like completely wrong for their body shape and it makes them look really, really misshapen. That's what we're essentially trying to prevent. He don't need no Brazilian butt lift. He got the goods. He was born beautiful and we're just helping him. If his butt has some flatness to it, that's absolutely normal. My butt's kind of flat. If his butt's rounded, cool, you know? We're just wanting to like make it fit his body shape. Or her, if you're making a little Mrs. dude. A little Miss guy. Okay, I'm gonna grab another tool. Now that we know where his crack is gonna be, we're going to shape it out a little bit. We're gonna add some lines so that we can then go in with a silicone and give it a little bit more, because we don't want it to stick out so much. We want it to feel real. We want it to feel like a butt. So we want that crack, but we also want to have like the defined nature of a butt. So we might need to like add a little bit more clay right here to make sure that it's not too much. We're just gonna gently push it into the right position. We still don't want him to lose his cake. We're just defining his cake a little bit differently. We're making sure he's got the cake, but that it's packaged properly, you know? That it's well defined and that it's gonna sell well. Because we want him to be able to sell his cake wherever he wants. And if we add too much, we can always take it away. Okay. I find that like sometimes it's with softer clay, it's easier to use your finger to smooth it out, but using the silicone to kind of push it into place and making sure that it's been added, enough has been added. So like I think this part can be a little less defined. And sometimes it takes some trial and error, because sometimes you'll end up covering up too much and then you'll be like, shit, it looks terrible. So like you can always take some away. You can always put some more back. It's okay to like go back and forth a little bit with it if you're not sure how you want to make it look. Right now what I'm trying to do is make sure to get like the crack existent, to make sure it lives there, but that it's not the most obvious thing in the world, you know? Like we don't want it to look like he's got like a Mount Rushmore between his cheeks. We want it to look like he's got like I don't know, what's a smaller mountain? Mount Rainier, you know? Okay. So I like the shape of it right here. I like how this is looking. So now I just want to define it a little bit more again to give it back that line that it had. Now we're going to take the silicone one. Okay, and that's our bot. We're just gonna, real quick, do it down the middle. We're gonna make sure to give it the roundness that it deserves. Just clean this off. And he got an ass. Now we can sit him back down, readjust his arms and his legs as needed because they may have come out of misalignment. Make sure his head's rounded in the way that we want it to be. Because again, with adjusting that back end, we've kind of changed the shape of how he's sitting. And we may need to like work on that. So like there's a little gap between his legs now that doesn't look great. So we're gonna fix that. We're gonna make a coil. It's just a little long tubey. We're gonna shove that coil down in there. Oops, I bumped the camera. I hope that wasn't too bad. Okay, I think I touched the screen and fucked it up. Whoops. What the fuck did I just do? I somehow made it blue. I don't know what I did. Oh god, it's yellow. Can I just reset this to default? I don't know how. Oh god, look away, I flashbanged you. Okay, I think I fixed it, mostly. I don't know. If it doesn't look great, I'm really sorry. I don't know what I did. I like bumped it and fucked it all up. Okay, so we're just gonna fix this by putting this coil down in here. We're essentially just pushing it down, splitting it in half, and then using each half to kind of mold into the part that it's connected to, so the leg or the stomach. Just to make sure that it's secure. Okay, that looks good. And I'm gonna actually add one to the other leg too, after I finish this one. Is it still too blue? Is it still too bright? I don't know. I think this is okay. Do you guys hate it? Is it too blue? Is that a little warmer toned? I don't know. I'm not very good at this. Okay. Then we're gonna add this one. And again, same thing. We're just gonna push it into place, kind of split it in the middle. And then climb it up each side. Also, I've said it before, but don't take my word for like 100% perfect genius fact. Like, I'm just doing the best I can, and I don't know everything. Hell, I don't know most things, so I could be very wrong. So if you think you know a better way to do something, do it. Do it up, baby. Show me. Show me the world. I don't mind learning new things or finding out that I was wrong. Um, I know some people get like wicked salty with shit like that, but like, I don't know, I'm doing everything the best that I can. And if there's a better way that I just don't know about, I'd love to learn it. But if I can help somebody else with like my technique, that's great too. I'm more than happy to do that. Okay. Looking good. Here's a little look at Ruski at him. Again, he got that long ass. We're gonna end up trimming the butt a bit. So I may end up adding some more. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's add some more clay here so that the bottom's a little flatter. We're gonna take this clay and put it away because it's drying out, and we're gonna use softer clay. There's the sniffles again. My COVID is much worse at night than it is during the day. So it's starting to get to that late night period where I start to feel really bad. So we probably won't do too much more. I do want to finish up the face. And then, you know, we can go from there. But I'm still unsure about how I want to do the face is the problem. I like this song too, this is nice. It's got a good beat to it, it's got a nice vibe. My taste in music is like kind of weird. I like a wide variety of music. I don't like crunchy music. I don't like country music. But other than that, I feel like I'm pretty open to like a lot of other music, maybe like electronic and stuff like that. Okay. We're looking good, we're looking good. Ignore Cujo in the background. I don't know if you can hear her. Okay. So now we're just gonna flatten that again. Checking the butt, still looks good, still looks like a butt. One little spot that's kind of looking funk, we'll fix that. Good, 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 good. Nice. Our arms are actually uneven, but I think that's fine. Nobody has to know. Okay, let's fill in this little crevice here. Okay, his hand disconnected, so we're just gonna put that back. Let's add a little bit of water, make sure it's staying. over to the other one too. It's a little wobbly still. Looking for my scratchy tool. Add some scribbly scratchies to this to make sure that his hand holds on. Add a little water. Wiggle it a little bit, make sure it connects and attaches. Feels good. This one's pretty solid. This one's the only one that keeps disconnecting. Just letting go. Okay, I feel good about it though. It feels like it's on there now. Okay. It's FaceTime. We need to grab some clay. I put the dry clay away. I want some wet clay. Okay. How do I want to do this? That's the real question. I really don't know, you know? Kind of going in blind a little. I'm gonna start with just like a squared off cone to help me decide. That seems pretty big. I want something that's not super big. Doesn't stick out a shit ton, you know? Okay, detach. I think it needs to be wider. I feel like it's much too big. Like, I kind of want something closer to the face. It just reads beak. I'm gonna look up some inspiration real quick. Okay, I'm looking at inspiration now. Trying to get an idea of what I want. I think maybe it's because the head is too rounded. Maybe if I bring the shape of the head in a little bit more towards the front, that will help give it that sort of... See, that's already sort of looking more nose-esque, you know? get some moisture to help me mess with it a little bit more. Turn it sideways so I get a better look at it. Okay, I think I'm liking that shape a little bit more. Let's add some more clay to the front to give it some more distance from the head, to give it that ability to stick out a little bit more. My brain keeps saying frunk for like front trunk for some reason, and I don't know what that's about. Turn it sideways again. I want to give the neck to snoot a smooth transition. Whereas a very like smooth, but I want the head to have that forehead bridge. You know what I'm talking about? So that it's a little bit more defined of like where the eyes should go. But I also feel almost like I should take some away from the back to give it a better shape. Like, I don't know. See, this is what I'm looking at right now. See what I mean? That I'm giving it more of that snoot shape? But I feel like the head's too big. But like, also, they're just big-headed little guys. So like, maybe we should leave the head the size that it is and then see how it feels once I add ears. You know? Maybe the ears will help shape it out a little bit. Because I'm thinking about making the ears point back a bit versus like the normal standard stand-up ears. So maybe that'll help with the shape. I want to like give it a little bit of a flatter top to its nose. Okay, I kind of like the shape. Let me add ears and we'll see how we like it. We'll see if the ears even it out well enough, or if it feels like it's missing something, or if it's like too flat on one side or something like that. Okay. I think I need a little bit more clay. I grabbed way too much, but that's okay. We might make the tail too. I forgot, but we'll make it. We'll figure this out. It's all a learning process, right? Looking at it in the camera, and it's actually like pointing out where it's like kind of off too. Yeah. Okay, feeling good, feeling good. Let's see. How do we want the ears to look? think I'm gonna roll this in a ball so that I get an even amount of clay for both ears. And then we'll cut it. We are gonna go for the standard pointed ear. The question is how we want it to look. It also probably won't be this big. I'm making it a little big so that I can get a good look at it. Get a good idea of what I want. See, this is the big ear look, but I don't know. I don't know that I want that. I think I might want more of like an ears back, but like how? How do dogs put their ears back? Maybe like this? No, that all looks wrong. Let me look up some more reference. Immediately came up like a little fucking vicious little weenie dog. I think they just have their ears more like angled. Let's make a smaller ear and then we'll toss it on and see. I feel like I have to make the second one to be able to decide how I want this to look. Obviously, I'm gonna clean them up and make them look not like shit. But we want to like stick it on there so we can get an idea of like the shape is what I'm looking for. See, I think that shape's just not doing it for me. Because I wanted to make it a dog's ears back, but it doesn't quite read as that. Maybe if I switch the ears. They just kind of look like Dobby ears. If I put them on just regular, like, they don't look terrible. I'd shape them more, obviously, but like, you know. Is that what I want to do? Do I just want to give up and put like ears on? Trying to decide if I like these shapes. It's hard, you know? It's hard trying to make art stuff. Like, you have in your brain what you want, but like it doesn't always come out the way that you want, you know? Sometimes it's just a question of like, what's the closest I can get to something that I would like? And it's not always simple. It just feels wrong. If I put it too low, they feel wrong. If I put them too high, they feel wrong. I don't know, man. It's just not quite hitting. Just not quite getting what I want, you know? Maybe they're just too big. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, that one doesn't look terrible now. Let's try to do the same thing again. If I can remember what I just did. Hmm. I'm still having some issues with the shape that I'm not sure if I like it. Let's just attach it as if we liked it and see where we go from there. See if it looks better once I attach it and once it's got everything, you know, on there. Maybe it'll help with the shape to have it attached. I'll make a coil and add it. Okay. It is feeling more like part of it now that it's attached. And I do think it does look a little bit better. I think there's some issues with the edging that it just looks like it's cracking a little bit. Maybe because of my hands are drying out. So let me just touch it up a bit inside and see if that helps. I mean, they look a little like bat-esque, but like, I don't know, we could just say it's some animal. It doesn't have to be dog-like or anything. We could just say it's an animal with a snoot and ears that stick out. I mean, it is art. It can be whatever I want it to be. Okay. Whew, let's attach the other one. Oops, almost knocked that sucker right off. Just gonna roll this clay in my hand a little bit. Okay. This side's having a little bit more difficulty attaching. So we're just gonna add a little bit more clay. Help define it even more. And we're just gonna moisturize it a little bit to help make sure that it's not cracking while we're making adjustments. This ear is a little bit less stable than the other one, so I'm just adding a little bit of clay inside of it to make sure it holds it in place. I'm just doing finishing shaping of it to try and make sure it matches the other one. I want them both to look somewhat similar at least, like they belong on the same animal, but maybe not perfect, you know? Like I said, I like my art to be kind of messy. Okay, so we can see our ears look kind of fucked up, but like, there's something. I like the way that they look when they're sitting down, so that's what matters the most right now. I'm just gonna try to even it out so that they look like they're both coming out with the same amount, so it doesn't look like there's a big chunk behind one of the ears and not the other one. Basically, I added a little bit too much coil when I added this ear, so I want to make sure they're even enough. Okay, looking good. I think that's good. Let's see, how do we want to shape this face? I think I'm gonna use this to give the snoot a little bit of a shape. Okay. Okay, just trying to give it a little shape. Oops, through that. Well, took out way too much. Trying to give it more of a snoot look, but I think I maybe took out too much. Let's try to make some adjustments and see how we feel about it. Okay, I like that shape a little bit better.
The hell does that mean?
Just giving him a snoot nose now. Can't promise this will ever look good, so just give me a break. What do you think? Does that look like a nose? I think that looks like a nose. Okay. Oof, oof, I'm sweating. I want to do an eye, but like, I don't know. Trying to define the location of where the eyes are gonna end up going. I think that seems good. Oof, this one got a little chunk. Trying to add more of that brow ridge that we were talking about earlier. I think it's missing a little something because of it not being quite as defined. Okay, I think I like that. Let's define the shape of the top of the eye a little bit more. Should I give him those little round, like Shiba-esque eyebrows? Here's an update on his face snoot for anyone who's interested. Here, let me try to adjust the focus a little bit so you can see better. Nope, that's the wrong thing that I'm adjusting. When's the focus? Is this one the focus? Yes, this is the focus. Kind of see him a little bit better now. Those ears do be wonky. His face do be wonky. But he's my wonky little boy. My hands are drying out a lot, so it's hard. I like don't want to accidentally fuck up his nose at all because I'm very happy with it. But I want to make sure I define his other features correctly. His butt still looks good. It'll need some cleanup, of course. You guys can see a lot more like how lumpy the clay is here. This is cleanup that we'll do another day. To make sure it's all smooth and everything. Right now we're just getting the basic shape down and deciding how we want him to look. Just adding a little bit more detail to his eyes to give him a little bit of a triangle. Okay. So they gave him little Shiba eyebrows. What would they look like? I think those might be a little too goofy. Let's make it smaller. Not sure he's meant to have Shiba eyebrows. Yeah, it's just not fitting. No, we're gonna leave his eyebrows the way they are. You don't need none. Okay. I think that's it for today. He's a chunky little guy. He's got a fat head, but I kind of like that about him. We can always trim it down once we get into that phase too. We want to let him get a little leather hard before we do that. But we need to cover him in plastic to make sure he doesn't dry out too much. And we'll spritz him with some water. And yeah, we'll give him a couple days to dry out a little bit, but not too much. And we'll go from there. We'll trim him up. We'll get him cleaned up to a point where we can let him dry completely and then get him bisque fired. And then, yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Sorry, guys. I've reached the breaking point of being really, really exhausted. And my body is basically at the point where I feel like I'm about to pass out right here. So it's time for me to get some sleep. It is time for you guys to think about what my next theme should be. We're going to consider this guy a fox, because I think he looks most like a fox. Based on like his ear position, his eye shape, and his nose shape. Oh fuck, you know what, we forgot the tail. Let's give him a tail real quick. I don't want to forget about that, because I'll forget tomorrow too. So let's get some clay real quick. And we'll give him a tail. We'll make him a handsome little fox boy. Okay. So let me just warm this clay up a little bit in my hands. We're gonna make it into a circle. We're gonna extend it out a little bit. I want to give him a point at the end of his tail. That's be looking pretty terrible. We're just gonna pinch it out. Get that point. You want a little chunky tail? Should I give him a little chunky tail? If his tail is too chunky, it'll cover up a lot of his little butt. So I don't want too much tail. I'm thinking maybe we bring it in and give it a little bit of a triangular shape at the end. So that it only connects at a small part. And still leaves a lot to the imagination. We want something like this. Let's get a side view. You can still kind of see his little butt peeking out, but it will cover up a lot of his butt, so it's the price we have to pay for cute fox boy. Let me just attach this the right way. Because his body's so dry already, we want to make sure we score it. Because otherwise that sucker is going to pop right off. Get a nice deep score. We're going to score this too, even though it's very soft. Add some water. I'm going to attach it. Squeeze that right into place. I'm going to try to leave as much ass crack as I can. But I think we just have to live with what we got. His butt might be covered up a bit. By a bit, I mean mostly. It looks like if we want that tail to stay attached, we're gonna have to give it a little bit more to attach to. That sucks, but you know, That is the nature of making things. Sometimes you'll design something and then you'll realize that it's not going to work for what you want, and you have to change things on the fly. So that's what we're doing. We're making the changes. We're making sure our little guy has a nice, beautiful tail. We're making sure that tail's going to stay on. Trying to decide how I want the tail to sit. I think I'm gonna like angle it a little bit. Give it a little bit of a curl. Okay, I think I like that tail. It looks, right now it looks a little bit like a lizard tail, like a little fat chunky leopard gecko tail or something. But we'll add some to it later to like make it look a little bit more tail-like. I'm thinking we'll just do little clippies. So like, here's an example. So like you take a pair of scissors and you clip, and then you just kind of like angle that out. I think if we do that in a couple places, let's just do it now. I have time. I'm exhausted, but like, we can make this work. I wanna see how it's gonna look. Where'd my thing go? Okay. Nope, that's not the one I want. This one doesn't work as well. Here's the one I want. Okay. So we're essentially trying to make those spots stick out without letting the hole that they came out of look very obvious. But it's not necessarily the easiest. So I'm doing my best, but it's also my first time using this technique. So it's all just a lot of guesswork for me. Does this look good? I don't know, probably. Which is how everything that I do is. So, you know, if it ends up looking like shit, it looks like shit. Who cares? Okay, let's take a look. I think that's good enough that it looks more fluffy now, and less chunky. So we'll leave it at that for now. We'll clean it up tomorrow, or whatever day I end up getting to clean it up. But for now, that's our little guy. He's... Sorry, I clapped my hands and there's like dust now. He's slightly larger than my other guys. But we're just gonna say that he's a big chunk man, you know? He's a big chunk boy, living his big chunk life, doing the best he big chunkin' can. But yeah, that's it, guys. We're gonna end it. That's all for today, folks. Thank you guys for chilling with me this evening. It's 11 p.m. and I need to go to sleep now. Yeah, I'll see you guys another time. Thanks, everyone. I love you guys. Bye.